Hi friends, Mario Cavolo here. Forgive me. Like a lot of YouTubers, YouTube is not my main work, but I'm enjoying the effort I'm making to build up and grow my channel. And I apologize because I'm working through tweaking things. And so I apologize for the last couple of audios where the audio was not so good. It was too low, and then there was some background noise, which was a shame because I was in the beautiful Conrad Shenyang Hotel, 88th floor, one of the tallest buildings, one of the tallest hotel lobbies. 88th floor here in Xinjiang, my wife's hometown, in the world, just amazing. And I found a nice background, and when I started recording that video, it was quiet. It was quiet in the lobby during the holiday, and we were there for a couple of days. And then it got noisy and it got busy. And so anyway, combined with I'm using this Boya MM1 lavalier mic, which works fine. Like now you're hearing my voice very, very well, no problem. But apparently it's not one of those super directional lavaliers. And so it's picking up background noise as well. So anyway, as someone who's working on doing YouTube videos, and I've looked at a lot of other YouTubers, their videos, not just on China, but other YouTubers who have a lot of followers. So I'm learning as I go in that respect. My main work is more corporate, white-collar type work and research, but still, it's a worthy effort to build up the YouTube channel. And it's certainly important, the topics that we cover. So again, my apologies for things being less than perfect. And please give me your feedback. How do you like this? Here's my next background that's available here in my home, in my studio. Here's my white background. This is the one that's, the pure, perfect, simple. And I wear the simple black sweater, right? So this is, how does this work? I think this works pretty well. When I do my videos for CGTN, this is what they like. A lot of media goes with the simple, straight, white studio. In my office over there, I've got the white and blue curtain background. On the other side over here, I've got the more gold background with the wood and the plant and the shelf, green, a little more interesting looking. So I'm trying different things. Again, thanks for your patience. And if you like my videos overall and my content, of course, please subscribe. I'm working very hard to build up the channel. And I'll also, I'm going to set up a proper PayPal me for those of you who will donate to support my work, which I very much appreciate. This update on China and many related items, wow, I got a lot to tell you. I really do. The news cycle is going so fast, so let's go through it. Let's pay attention. So my book, my coming book, and this is a problem. I'm not promoting the book. I'm happy to mention the book, but there's no point in me promoting it because you're never going to be able to get it. It's going to be printed in Hong Kong. Okay, so my book's coming soon, very soon. And that's with Skylark Publishing Hong Kong, and I'm very, very excited about that. They're going to print a first print run. I don't know how many it's going to be yet. They're checking with the Hong Kong bookstores right now. This is going to be, an official Hong Kong, the real deal, international licensed published book. I'm very excited about that. And with thanks to the Liaoning Provincial Foreign Affairs Office for all the support that they're doing to make that happen. So the problem with the book is, it's a great book because it celebrates a great thing, China's success. And that's the problem. The purpose of this book, I put it out as quickly as I could. All the people around me said it was incredibly necessary. Okay, the Chinese title is Yo Idiom Budui Jin, which is the Chinese title for my now famous article from a year ago. There's something's not right here, folks, which talked about how well China was doing and how unfair the comparisons were between China dealing with the coronavirus and the US dealing with and handling the H1N1 virus back in 2009. So that article put my life and career in a new place. It's in the top 10 of LinkedIn articles ever read on LinkedIn. It's in the top 10 list with 1.96 million views. And I've done nothing to push it along. I could buy ads and everything, and I didn't do anything to promote that ad. That was pure organic all over the world. More importantly, when it got translated into Chinese here in China, it's got hundreds of millions of views. It's a whole different ballgame. Why I mentioned the book now, which the print run's going to come soon, is because it points out China's success, and that is the problem. Everything else I'm going to talk to you about here for the next 15 minutes trickles down from the incredibly high level of China's success. It's a problem. And that is why China is being attacked. Do you think the West, namely the United States, but also other parties, do you think that they're going to take being dethroned without possibly even starting a war? Well, apparently not. Okay? Because, they're even sending military to the South China Sea. So, we're in for rough times geopolitically because, and I like quoting Martin Jacques, as he said it very clearly, many of us have been saying it for years, China really is the new world leader. And oh boy, is that a problem. So China's success is the problem. The fact that I'm publishing this wonderful book about China's success and the story of how China dealt with the coronavirus from January to June, that's the time frame of the book. It's all a problem. So let's talk about some of these things. China's got the only economy that's growing. Oh, I doubt that. Well, okay. China, then we finally get the announcement that China is top in FDI, foreign direct investment. More foreign direct investment in China than in the United States or any other country. Oops. China is now the European markets, Europe's top trade partner. Oops. Even while being attacked, and look at Trump and Pompeo's, and it's continuing, the failed effort to attack China. And Pompeo went on his road trip to Europe to try and get everybody to support him and not China, and they all just gave him that finger, right? They gave him the finger. The Asian countries, all the leaders, they all were like, what? No, Mr. Pompeo. Sorry. Thank God he's now Mr. Pompeo and not Secretary of State Pompeo. And what was the announcement immediately in the same time frame? RCEP, okay, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Agreement. And then with Europe, the CAI. What's CAI stand for? I don't remember anymore. Something about the investment between China and Europe, that area, right? So those agreements were signed as if the world was signaling to the United States, sorry. And that's exactly what's gone on. Wow. Can you imagine the conversations going on in private amongst the most powerful people of the United States about what's going on here? All this stuff is happening in China's favor. China's, with Huawei, China's tops in 5G. Whoa, can't have that. Okay. Now, I'm so happy I don't care anymore. I just publicly talk about the fact that I'm on the thought leadership platform with Huawei. I've done a couple of videos and articles for them. I've got another article coming out soon. That's nice. Huawei is just an excellent telecommunications company. Mike Pompeo says, if you're doing business with Huawei, you're doing business with human rights abusers. Really? Okay. So we now completely understand that the reason that they are vilifying Huawei, the United States vilified Huawei, is because all the other telecommunications and data companies, Microsoft, Google, Alcatel, everybody, they have backdoors in their equipment and software to allow spying on you. legally by the National Security Agency, the NSA, and Huawei wouldn't let them do that. Like, we're not going to let you use our software and hardware to spy on people. No. And that's why they vilified Huawei, to say that they're the one that's the security problem. I mean, it's just freaking incredible, right? So all of this is out, clear as a bell now. I'm looking forward to the release of my next article with Huawei, which is on the misinformation that they try to share with you with respect to AI and facial recognition technology. Okay, next, China is now sending vaccines out. Some are being purchased, some are donated to the global south, right? Over 40 countries now are receiving the vaccine from China. Why is China doing that? Why isn't China concerning itself with the vaccine here at home, like the United States is doing? Oh, that's an interesting question. And the answer? Again, Fareed Zakaria with CNN, they hate to admit it, but he mentioned it during a news show a couple weeks back. China has virtually eradicated COVID-19 at home. I am 60. I'm in good health. I'm in really good health. I had a nice checkup, but I got a couple little things going on. So I'm concerned, right? I want to get my vaccine. I'm under no urgent pressure or feeling that I need to do that, because I'm in the city of Xinjiang, and like the city of Xinjiang and like most every other city in China, we had a little breakout 6 weeks ago, 18 to 28 cases. We immediately locked down. Everyone started wearing masks. The area where the breakout occurred, they locked everybody down. Said, hey, look, oh, there was a breakout in your apartment complex. Everybody go stay home for the next 10 days. Good, everybody cooperate. Let's get this thing, nip it in the bud. Zero tolerance, okay? And everybody in the city, 8 million people, we got tested twice in 10 days. Freaking incredible. I mean, just manage and cooperate together. That's all. I don't feel oppressed or repressed. None of us do. We all feel like we're sticking together to help each other to be safe and healthy. That's all. Believe me, I'm not oppressed or repressed in any way, shape, or form living here in China for 21 years. We're not. We have more freedom than you have. And that was before the pandemic. So now we really have more freedom than you have. Watch my video on freedom that I also did with Huawei. Okay, so the point is that, and finally, that here in Xinjiang, we are now at 36 or 38 days later, and through the Chinese New Year holiday, when a lot of people traveled, not a single new virus case. Okay, so in a city of 8 million, Xinjiang, and I haven't gone anywhere, right? Like most people, the government said, don't travel during the holiday. And again, my other videos about, we just did local staycation at the beautiful Conrad Xinjiang. So that's the shift in the domestic spending, the shift in lifestyle and culture and society and domestic spending here in China. People are spending their money here at home, okay, here in their own city. We did that. We didn't go anywhere. So I know there's no cases in Xinjiang. I'm not going anywhere. I'm probably next month going to go to hop the train to Beijing. There's no new case. There's no virus. Do you get it? None. That's called eradication. Okay? Wow. Oh, peace of mind, man. Wow, if that's not peace of mind, can you imagine everybody in the city? We all looking at each other with no worries whatsoever. No virus in the city of 8 million people. And it's like that all over the country. So I don't feel in a hurry to get a vaccine. Okay? No matter where an outbreak happens in China, it immediately gets handled, which goes hand in hand with explaining, okay, we're not in a hurry to roll out vaccines like they are in the countries where, like Germany, UK, Spain, I'm going to say Italy, France, Germany, etc. Just all over the world, Brazil, India, everywhere. Okay, you're in a hurry to get your vaccines out. We're not. We don't have any cases. There's no new cases in a country of 1.4 billion people. Could you please show us some respect for that? Maybe, right? I mean, geez. So if you look at the list of what I'm telling you here, of how well China's doing on so many metrics, it's just like too good, right? What can anyone in the West do about that? Man, all they can do is make up stories. And that's what they've done. And yesterday's headline, I screenshotted the headline page of CNN. Good grief. It reads like you would think China is the worst hellhole on God's green earth, like a combination of Syria, Libya, Israel, bombs, Gaza Strip, Somali genocide of Christians. Roll it all into one, and I think that's what you think is happening here in China. I mean, it couldn't be the worst. New allegations of massive, widespread rape of Uyghur women. I mean, I don't know how less to react than that fucking crazy like that about such lunacy. I don't know what else to say to you. Man, Jake Tapper. He held the flag yesterday. Jake Tapper. Widespread rape and murder is happening in China now. You just gotta laugh. Okay, listen to me very carefully. Because I want the facts to be more important than my having fun here, being rhetorical about it. Listen to my facts. Except for the pandemic, you could travel to China. You could travel to Xinjiang. You could travel to Urumqi. Now, we're in a pandemic. We have the pandemic rules. You're not allowed to now. Besides that, you were allowed to. Why doesn't China let people in? They did. They let everybody in. The United Nations countries came, 1,200 delegates. The United States jumped on the plane and came with everyone to see what was happening in Xinjiang. No, they didn't. The United States, the one that's making the accusation, objected to the visit. Why would you object to China inviting everyone to come? Everyone who did come went all around and were like, wow, yeah, so you have a problem like France. In France, do you know that they do de-radicalization classes for Muslim extremists? That's what they do in China, okay? De-radicalization of the Muslims, the extremists. I want to know about the de-radicalization classes and courses and programs. That is this policy that's rolled out by the United States to deal with radical extremist Muslims or any other radical extremists. Oh, wait, there isn't any. So you see, what the United States does is they just drone bomb them. And as a bystanding happenstance, collateral damage, they kill millions of innocent Muslims, men, women, children, who have nothing to do with being Muslim radical extremists. Okay? I mean, that's the history. Do you understand me? Hats off to, I mean, it was back in 2003, I think, GeorgeGalloway for going to Congress and saying to them, you killed hundreds of thousands of civilians in a fake Iraq war. You're guilty of war crimes, George Bush. This isn't my rhetoric, is it? No. This is just the facts. Okay? There is a problem with radical Muslims in Xinjiang. Okay? There were terrorist attacks. Imagine if there was a terrorist attack in Colorado, Denver. What would you do? repeated local Muslim extremists killed and slaughtered violently all over the streets. In one particular attack, forgive me not remembering the details, but over 200 innocent people were violently slain, slaughtered, murdered by radical Muslim extremists in Xinjiang. And the government clamped down to stop it and put security controls everywhere. All Muslim and Uyghur people in Xinjiang and all Han people, Han means Chinese, regular China, the main population of China, the Han. Everyone, all foreigners, go through the same security at airports, at subways, all over the city. That was put in place because of the terrorist attacks. Over 200 people were slaughtered by radical Wahhabi, what is it called? Wahhabis, I think, right? East Turkestan or Turkmenistan, I might be getting what's one of those two words wrong. The terrorist movement, the terrorist group that was designated a terrorist group. And then Mike Pompeo, before he left office, took that group off the terrorist group. Why? Someone explain this to me. And you want to tell me that it's the Chinese government that's killing Uyghurs? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So let me go back to the beginning of what I said here. You can go, any tourist, any person can go to Xinjiang. And they did, and they do. I can name several people. They're in Twitter. Go look at Jerry China's Twitter account. Another gentleman I know, I won't say anybody else's names because I don't necessarily have their permission, but Robert, someone that I know, was like, yeah, I go to Xinjiang 2-3 times a year for the last several years. Everything's great. What more do you need to understand? Listen to the following statement very carefully. There's a population of 12.5 million Uyghur Muslims living in Xinjiang. Okay? None of them are being targeted for anything. They're there. They get up in the morning, they do their thing. They have restaurants, they go to school. School is fully bilingual. In the entire city in which they live, all the street signs are in Mandarin and their language. Everything's written everywhere in their language. They walk around with whatever Qurans, prayer books that they walk around with. There's almost 20,000 mosques in China, in Xinjiang. There's hundreds of mosques that were destroyed, apparently. That's what you hear. So there's hundreds of mosques in China, in Xinjiang, have been destroyed. You know what? That's probably true. They were probably old mosques that needed to be destroyed and renovated, part of commercial zoning. They destroyed them. But did you hear what I said in the beginning? I said, but there's 20,000 mosques still there. A few hundred supposedly were destroyed. Let's just assume they were destroyed. There's 20,000 more or 18,000 more. There's more mosques in Xinjiang, and they're open than there are in the United States and Europe combined. And they're open, and you go to them. What else do you need to hear? Okay? I'm not saying there's nothing going on to control a problem within the Uyghur Muslim community. I didn't say that. I've never said there's nothing going on. There's lots of security things happening to keep Uyghur and Han people in Xinjiang safe from radical extremist terrorism. Yes, there are things going on. Yes, there are probably cases of individual people who get caught up in that and who, unfortunately, their lives get wrecked. It happens. It's very unfortunate that it happens. It happens everywhere. But at least the Chinese are not doing what the United States is doing, which is simply drone bombing Xinjiang. That's what the United States solution is, to drone bomb an area. So I'd like you to imagine with me that there's a Muslim neighborhood in just about every major city in China, and there's a big Muslim neighborhood here in Xinjiang, right over there, 8 kilometers north and a little bit east of me. Okay, the weather's just warming up. I'm looking forward to going to the Muslim food street. Imagine if the Chinese government heard. Wow, this is an incredible thing to say to you. Imagine that the Chinese government heard that there was a small group of 6 extremist, violent terrorist Muslims planning a terrorist attack, and they were holed up in the Muslim neighborhood of Xinjiang. Imagine that. You with me? Imagine that the Chinese government said, okay, we have to kill them. This is what the United States government does in Syria, Libya, Middle East. This is what they do. Oh, we found a compound of radical extremist Muslims. We've identified the compound and we're going to drone strike them. That's what the United States government does. To a degree, it's a good thing to kill those bastards. But you know what the problem is? As I said, millions of innocent civilians have been killed along the way. So imagine if you heard that the Chinese, Mario reported to you in his next YouTube video, 6 Uyghur Muslim extremists, violent ones, with blueprints and plans and materials to make bombs, were discovered in the Muslim neighborhood of Mario's wife's hometown, Xinjiang, where they live. And the Chinese government drone bombed the building in which they lived, and 150 civilians were also killed when the bomb hit, because there was a school next door. Can you imagine hearing that in the news? And of course the answer is no. You'll never hear such a story. You know what? My God, I'm at 26 minutes, and on that incredible idea, I think I want to wrap up this video. There's so much more I want to talk to you about today, but I got to stop it right there, because that was too much. I just thought of that, and that's just too much. That just goes to show you, I hope, how outrageous the lie is regarding Xinjiang and the Uyghur genocide nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, China is the largest, safe, successful, stable, and capable country on the planet. And as of today, February 20th, that is more true than ever. And I suspect it's going to continue to be more and more true over the next 3 decades. I hope, because I'm not anti-American at all, I'm the opposite. What a wonderful country. I hope America, I hope its political leaders start handling things better and taking care of their country, rather than just feeding themselves, the wealthy, the oligarchs, the elites of the country. I'm not the only person saying this. I'm not anti-American at all for saying it. I'm pro-American. I'm disgusted at what's happened in America. You should be too. If you're paying attention, you are. It's really unfortunate. And it's Trump, Biden, it's both sides. It doesn't matter which political party. They're just taking care of the elites and the wealthy and letting the society go to hell. That's what's happening. Extra thoughts and prayers and good vibes out to the good, amazing, wonderful people of Texas, including some family that I have down there who are having a really, really tough time right now. Right? So we hope you get through the difficulties that you're having. Please subscribe. Hope you enjoy my video. More coming soon. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Weibo. Follow me on Facebook. And we'll catch you later. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.